When did this film first come into your lap? When did you first get involved?
As a film, about 2.5 years ago. As a novel, because it's actually based on a French novel. I read it when I was way younger in the 80s, so it's been a while.
Did you always want to make it into a film?
When I read it, I didn't even know it was going to make movies, so yeah. No. But when I heard that they wanted to adapt it into a movie, I was very interested, yeah, right away.
I met Pierre Morel and Sean Penn in Barcelona because they were looking for an actress, and they saw a movie which I was in, an Italian movie called Honey by Valeria Golino. And so after the screening, they called me just to meet, and this is how everything started.
A month or so before we were going to begin filming, Sean Penn called me up and said, "Would you like to come and make a film with me? Be in a film with me?"
And what attracted you to the role? I mean,
maybe that Sean wanted me to do it, and most of the scenes were with Sean. Obviously I have some scenes with Jasmine and with other actors, but at that point I only knew about Sean, and I wanted to act with him.
For me, he does the work he's done before. He's been fantastic. I've never seen him bad in a film. And usually, if the film ain't that great, he'll bring something to it that will move that film on, you know. So I said I'd love to. I met the director, Pierre, really liked him, then read the script. And the script was good, and they tinkered with it, and they made something a little bit better out of a good script. So we was pretty lucky. So the first time was, I guess, through Sean.
What about the story was it that attracted you?
I think what attracted me back then, let's say, to the novel is that it takes place in a very cynical, let's say, world of everybody's grey. You can't trust anybody, which is a very, I think, realistic way to see the world. I mean, it's not black and white. I think everything is kind of grey, dark grey or light grey, but it's more or less grey. And it was interesting to make it a bit more, to modernize it, because the book is based on situations that are about from the 80s or 70s. When we started working on it, we wanted to make it a more contemporary story, and the word hasn't changed since. It's still grey.
You didn't tell her?
No, I didn't tell her. It was a surprise. As it was a surprise for me to see you this afternoon.
Tell us about your character and what inspirations you drew on for the role.
Annie is a woman with strong beliefs. She's in love with a man, Jim Terrier, played by Sean Penn. And they work together in Congo. They work in an NGO. But then Jim left her for some reasons, so she starts again a new life with Javier Bardem.
My kind of idea was this was Sean's character a little further down the road, you know, who's come home, where Sean stayed busy with his life in the same place that we were, where the atrocities were done, that my character's come home to London with nothing. He's got nothing left, and can't sleep, he just dreams nightmares of the atrocities that they've gone through and what they've perpetrated on the people in the country, you know, and becomes involved with the drink and the drugs and that kind of down, horrible life, you know. So that was my thinking on the character, and of course, someone like that, when Sean turns up and needs help, it's another chance for him to grab at life and maybe put something right.
It's a fabulous cast. How did you go about putting that together?
It came actually by itself. I mean, once we got Sean on board, and Sean was the first to be on board as the lead actor, we had conversation about who do we see as this, who do we see as that, and funny enough, the same names came up. We had the same ideas. We came up with the same names, and we actually called them, and they said yes. So it was a very easy process. We came up with the same ideas for all the other members of the cast.
What about Pierre? What was he like to work with?
Oh, blinding, yeah. I mean, watching him and Sean bouncing off on one another, you know, and being allowed to do that as well when you're involved, obviously. But just watching those two, because they knew the scripts so well, the idea of the script and where the story was going to go, which I've been party to on films that I've done where I've been the lead. You understand that kind of connection, and you don't worry about that because you know that they're making the film better. And so that was good. I like working with him.
Pierre was really fantastic because with Sean and with Joel Silver, who was involved at that time, there were very strong personalities on set, and Pierre was a really good example of a director just being the calm center amidst all this stuff. And seeing the film last night for the first time, it's so beautifully shot. I think he began as a cameraman, Pierre, and you really get your money's worth. It's a beautifully filmed film, and he really knows suspense and action. So yeah, he was very, very gentle in the midst of a very violent story.
When I approach action scenes, I always want to make them very, very realistic. I mean, I think you need to adapt the action scenes to the movie itself and to the actors who are going to perform them. You don't want to have Sean Penn walking on ceiling as if he was a Chinese stunt guy. So you just need to make it rough and gritty and quick and as brutal as it would be in real life without making it too graphic or to glamorize it. That was not the point. I just wanted to make it rough.
I can see the company's perspective. You're the last real threat on the table. Then we've got nothing left to talk about.
Set me up. They're gonna try to kill all of us.